bottom ball joint into stub axle carrier. Step 6 is to fit the lower wishbone bush into its carrier. Done. Step 7. Stub axle into stub axle carrier attaching steering arm. Step 8. Step 9, assemble the lower wishbone. Step 10 is to get a friend and do a dry assembly to admire your work. Pete, mate, hold on to this, thank you very much. You can be in charge of the hub. Excellent, right. Lower wishbone will slot on there like so. The torsion bar will go in here and t'other end will be attached to the car. So that'll go in something like that. That bush will go on there like that, and the upper wishbone will sit like that. Now, the reason we've dry assembled it is because that's about as much as we can do on the bench. The rest of it has to be done actually on the car itself. So, whilst we crack on with the rear suspension cage and start getting that in place, you take a look at another racing classic.
What I know about the car is that it was fully rebuilt back early 90s. Handmade aluminium body panels all round apart from the bulkhead.
Talking about the engine, what's actually been changed from the standard engine?
The head's all been ported out and it has maximum size valves, twin 45 carbs, well jetted up, you know.
The gearbox, is it still the original TR3 gearbox?
Not original TR3 gearbox, it's got a Triumph Stag box in it. Brakes of course are modified, we've got bigger drums on the back and it's got vented drill discs on the front, 4-pod calipers. It's a seriously modified car.
What sort of power is it putting out now?
It's supposed to put out about 200 at the back wheels, which is pretty good for a 1956 Triumph.
And what sort of top end speed would you think that'll give us?
It'll do, I think it does about 130, 135.
So what sort of rev range does the power come in at?
Well, in at above 3. You need to keep it above 3, or it falls down and...
Maximum RPM? Changing up gears?
6.5.
6.5. Will I be allowed to take to 6.5?
Well, okay.
Very sensitive on the steering. Feels like a very well built car. Seagulls. Seagulls. A wee bit oversteer, but there you go. Nobody's perfect. Now's the time to mark. A TR3, another car I've never driven. I didn't know what to expect. It's beautiful. It's absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
Welcome back. I'm about to, with a bit of help, put in the rear suspension cage into the car. I'm obviously underneath the car at the moment. And let me show you how we prepared things under here. First off, you'll notice this is black. It's been stone chipped over the paint. So I will show you how to do that later with the bonnet in another programme. The actual fixings for the suspension cage are here. They're 4 V-blocks, rubber blocks. 2 of them are already on the car, one this side, one the other side, so it's here. On the other side, front end, both sides, we've left them off here, but they're actually on the suspension cage because it is a tricky job trying to manhandle this in. You'll also notice up here, we've got a fuel pipe, which has been put in first because it's very difficult to get to this once the cage is in place. Now, it's a tricky job. I said it was, so I need some help. Lee's here and Steve, and they should be out here as we speak. All right, guys, are we just about ready? So, what's the plan?
We've got to get it into position.
So it's on a jack.
Yep.
We've obviously got to lift it up quite a long way, haven't we?
Yep.
All right. Radius arms are towards the front. That's right. So it's a bit of grunt now. Okay. Come in my way. It's nice that you can actually build this on a bench, basically, but getting it in is quite tricky.
Keep going, yeah.
Are you in your end, mate? Ace! Is it just standard washer and nut on this?
Yeah.
This is looking great. You happy your side, Steve? Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, Steve's at the front because he doesn't want to get his t-shirt dirty. A superb job. That went in easier than any of us thought possible, but it's not finished yet. There's a lot of fiddling to do to get all the rest of the bolts in, so we're going to crack on with that. When it gets a bit tricky, you always revert to the Bible, the Builder's Workshop Manual, and it says refitting. Refitting is the reverse of the removal procedure. How very helpful. See you next time.